Mark just asked me if I wanted to wear the Montreal Canadian jersey, and I said never put that on. I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. We feel for you. Right now, the Leafs are like, well, they're like Teamsters and UFCW. It's a race to the bottom so they can win the lottery draft. On behalf of my union, RWDSU in Saskatchewan, I would like to thank all the delegates, and I'd like to thank Steve and Rob, and, Romeo and Bob and Mark for the invite over here. Thank you guys very, very much. Very happy to be here. I did not travel here alone. I traveled here with a sister, Wanda Bartlett. She is one of my vice presidents of the co-op division. I traveled here with Paul Guillet. He is one of our staff reps and also office coordinator in Regina. Last, but for sure not least, I traveled here with Brother Gary Burkhart. He is our Secretary Treasurer, and without him, our union probably would not be able to run. These three people, sister and two brothers, are icons in our union back in Saskatchewan, and there's absolutely no doubt about that. They are the face of our union in our province. And just a little bit about our union. We're 16 locals. We're somewhere between 5,500 and 6,500 members, depends on the time of the year because we have some seasonal workers. And we got somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 different shops. We're a very diverse union. We got chicken butchers in Lilydale and Wynyard. We got Yorkton Credit Union, which is bankers, bank workers. We got people of Safeway Sobeys, all the co-ops in Regina, a bunch of the rural co-ops. We got Coke workers and Pepsi workers in Saskatoon. We got Brinks in both Saskatoon and Regina. We got Canadian Linen, Alsco Linen. We got Everest Place, which is exhibition workers in Regina. It's a large local. So we are a very, very diverse union in the province. What we've been doing, we're busy with bargaining, and we just got some preliminary stuff from some of the co-ops. They're getting ready to bargain, and that's not looking that good. They came to us with some preliminary stuff with just slap in the face monetary issues, and we may be heading down the path of a fight there. Just very recently, we had a shop, Temple Gardens in Moose Jaw. We were having a serious problem bargaining with them, could not come to an agreement. We came to an impasse, and so we took a strike vote, 100% strike mandate. We didn't serve strike notice, they served lockout notice. And this is what got us the deal. In RW in Saskatchewan, we have an old school bus that we've converted into a picket line bus. We've painted it our colors, and we've stripped a bunch of the seats out. We have a generator in there and a barbecue and stuff like that. And we use that because we're spread out throughout the whole province, so we needed that picket line somewhere. It's off to Wynyard. And so anyways, Gary and I, we talked about getting that bus ready and getting it out to Temple Gardens, Moose Jaw, and we were going to go and park it right in front of the hotel at the spa over there. Now that threat went from our staff rep, Corey Jorgensen, and went to their managers over at Temple Gardens, and that's what got them the deal. They did not want that picket line bus parked in front of the hotel.
Hey!
2008, under this Brad Wall Sask Party government, they legislated essential services in our province. Now, essential service legislation over there was just terrible. It was just terrible, terrible, terrible. Most jurisdictions in the country, if there's essential services, there's a caveat that goes along with that, with binding arbitration. This legislation did not have that. So we looked at it, and I mean, we're a private sector union, we're not a public sector union. The only shop that we had was basically in the public sector at that time was Hospital Laundry in Regina. So we said we still need to get involved in this fight. So we went to some of the other big unions, the CUPE and SGEU and SIEU, and we went to them and we said, you know what, we've got to take this government on in the courts. Our union was one of the initial groups, the initial union that went to the Saskatchewan Federation of Labour and talked to Brother Larry Kubik, the president of the SFL, and said, let's take these guys to court. So we took them to court. We won it in the provincial courts, and they filed an appeal, and it went off to the Supreme Court of Canada. Well, guess what? On January 30th, 2015, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled in our favor on that legislation, said that was illegal legislation. In their ruling, they said every worker in Canada has the constitutional right to strike. And I am very, very proud to say that our union was one of the initial unions that went to the Fed and said, let's take these bastards on and take them to court. Put them in, put their back to the wall. You know, it's, whenever I've been listening to any of the speakers this week, whether it was Big Bob or Big Joe, even Albert, the last speaker, I've heard a very, very common theme. Sean Lacusta spoke about it. Brother Wagner spoke about it. Two common themes: solidarity and fighting. And I'm sure that everyone has heard that. Solidarity and fighting. Seems to me quite often that those two go hand in hand. We heard the youth workers in their presentation when they were asked at Harrison what solidarity meant to them. Well, solidarity meant great things to them. But solidarity and fighting go hand in hand. If you get into a fight, that builds solidarity. And I've seen it time and time again. I saw it with our fight with the Sask Party and Brad Wall government when we took them on with their illegal legislation. I've seen it at Wynyard Co-op a few years ago when we had a labor dispute there. And I've seen it time and time again. When we get into a fight, that builds solidarity. And that speaks volumes to me. You know, the other day, it was Monday, and that's when our provincial election was on. And I'm going to just, sometimes I digress a little bit. And relationships are conceived and birthed here in this room, in this arena. But relationships are nurtured and they grow down the hall called the hospitality room and stuff like that. That's where those relationships are nurtured and grow. And special big thanks to all the locals that sponsored that hospitality room this week. So Monday, when we were in a provincial election, we were over here and we were sitting around in the hospitality room there and we were having some beers. And we were looking at Wanda's phone because she was looking at the election results on her phone. And we were getting our asses handed to us big time. The NDP was losing big time, and the Sask Party and Brad Wall were winning big time. And we worked hard in that provincial election. We knocked on doors time and time again and went and spoke to people I spoke to people in our churches. I spoke to people in our coffee shops and stuff like that. Told them the truth. So we worked hard. When we were getting our asses handed to us, and I was looking at the results on Wanda's phone there in that hospitality room, my heart was sinking lower and lower and lower all the time. And then Big Bob, he started us in a sing-along of Solidarity Forever. And it was moments like that speak volume to me, because you know what? That's just one little piece of the fight. Because 4 years from now, we're going to take and we're going to lick our wounds, we're going to gather ourselves together with the NDP in that province, and we're going to take and we're going to kick Brad Wall's ass out of that province. Solidarity forever and fighting, they go hand in hand. Trust me, brothers and sisters. You know, a lot of times my friends, my family, my kids, even my dad, before he passed away, people in my church, stuff like that, they'll come to me and they'll say, Jeff, do you ever get tired of fighting? And I'm sure that every one of you guys have been asked that somewhere along the line. And you know what? Our answer always has to be this: no, we don't get tired of fighting, because we are fighting the good fight. And you know what? When we're fighting, I never stand alone. I never fight alone. I'm always looking beside me, to my left or to my right. There's always a sister or a brother right beside me, standing shoulder to shoulder, fighting with me. That's solidarity. And sisters and brothers, that's something that we have to not just take from this room, because we're all union leaders in our shops. And we have to take them back to our shops. We have to take them back to our workplaces. We have to take them back to our community associations and the rinks and the ball diamonds and our church groups and the community groups helping out. That's what we have to take back. That we're leaders, and we're going to take and we're going to stand up for whatever, and we're going to fight for whatever is right in this country, in our communities. And that's what sets us apart from the rest of society, sisters and brothers. Solidarity to you, and have a great rest of the convention. One more thing. Last, but for sure not least. Mark, congratulations on your great career with Longshore, president of Longshore. And you know what? It was 3 years ago when this guy here said to me, as I was going to let my name stand for president of our union, he encouraged me. And that's something that I'll never ever forget. And all the best to you into the next chapter of your life called retirement. Brother, have a great time.